Hello and welcome to yet another video from Maza Bitcoin. Earlier I was filming on a highway. I got off onto a two-lane road, which you can see here. Very cool, very nice two-lane road. Beautiful, just a beautiful day as per usual in Vietnam. There's some guys behind me and girls doing some work. Looks like they're baling hay. But anyway, yeah, I'm on this bike trip. I just want to make certain one thing very clear from the last video, which is right now, if anyone is buying Bitcoin, they can see the market pumping into all the other altcoins. Now this is a lot of adoption by, not market adoption from people, but rather these are large companies, and we've known for a long time that. Oh, look at this guy going fast. We've known for a long time that large institutions have been buying Bitcoin, like Grayscale, BlackRock. Yale University had put their huge endowment into Bitcoin. Now, the world's largest banks and insurance companies do not buy Bitcoin to lose money. Do you understand? They do not buy Bitcoin to lose money. They happen to know also, just like we know here at Mother Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is the future of money. Paper money and centralized money, which is typed in and more is printed at will, is not the future of money. So by watching this video and me explaining how bad our monetary system is in every video, I try to talk about how Bitcoin, in a sense, will reduce war and will make the world more fair, because it is what's called a hard money. Now, our last hard money we had was gold. We had gold. Gold was difficult to obtain, but we never knew how much gold there is in total. We still don't know how much gold there is in total. We don't know, and we'll never know. And the large corporations like Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan Stanley, they buy all the gold they can so they can loan it in paper form, which is another form of rehypothecation. Which is, what is rehypothecation? Rehypothecation is the loaning of something that you don't own. So when you own $1, all banks are legal to loan out a minimum of $10 from that $1. And that is where we get the word fractional reserve lending. Bitcoin doesn't have that. Bitcoin is you buy one, and of course the more adoption, like in France in high schools, it's mandatory to learn about Bitcoin now, beginning in 2020. In China, it's mandatory to spread blockchain all over the country in different ways, shapes, and form to help commerce, speed up commerce, and keep a history of truth among exchanges and products. So blockchain and Bitcoin is the future. All the other coins, in my opinion, I wouldn't buy them. There are some coins like Ethereum that are especially good, better than some other coin like Nano. If you really want to buy another coin that's not Bitcoin, I would recommend that it's probably Ethereum at this point, because Ethereum has the second largest market cap. But even with Ethereum, the problems, I should say, plural, are many. There are many problems with Ethereum. Wow, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Just, man, I love this country. It's just so gorgeous. It's just such a beautiful place. Just decent people working hard and families, and it's like it should be around the rest of the world here. But with Ethereum, you've got a situation where you can have decentralized finance, many good things, smart contracts in Ethereum, but Bitcoin can also eventually have all the same things. Look at Bitcoin as a technology from which Ethereum comes. Ethereum would not exist without Bitcoin. That's why the show is called Mother Bitcoin, because it's the very first and original blockchain with a finite amount. Now, the finite amount of Bitcoins in the code, the finite, low battery sign, so am I still recording? Yes. The finite amount of Bitcoin was 21 million. We have, up till today, in 11 years, we have mined 18.3 million. So there are less than 3 million coins to mine of Bitcoin. Now, the issue with Ethereum is they still have not decided on how many Ethereum there will ever be. And that makes it just like a paper money. We never know how much of it there will be. So it's not a safe storage of value. Bitcoin, however, has a finite amount of 21 million. 18.3 million have already been mined. They're already being held. 1,800 Bitcoins are being sold every day. That selling supply gets cut in half in the beginning of May and becomes 900 Bitcoins will be available for sale every day. So, of course, they'll bid up the price. Usually we sell 1,800 every day, but it's only going to be 900. So pay attention. There's a train going by. They're trying to warn me. They're trying to warn me about the train. Just these are great people, man. I'm telling you, the media is so misleading for we humans. The media is always trying to divide us. And you meet the people around the world, whether it be here in Vietnam or in Africa or in Eastern Europe or in Russia, all over the world, Central and South America, and you notice one recurring theme, one thing that's true is the people are decent to one another. They're always, usually 9 times out of 10, very decent and giving and sweet and well-meaning towards one another. The media wants us to think that's not the case. Why? Because it's the media's job to serve the government. It's the government's job to expand their power while holding us down, while holding the little people down. And me, Mother Bitcoin, and the people listening to Mother Bitcoin's channel, we are the little people. And this I am trying to change. Please, if you do not hold 1 Bitcoin, try to slowly put money into Bitcoin until you might have a half a Bitcoin or maybe even 1 Bitcoin someday. And you will be known as a wealthy person in the not too distant future. Of this I am sure. Cool. So, I'd like to end this by finishing off what I was saying about Ethereum. Ethereum's an interesting technology. You could buy it and you'll probably make a lot of money from it. But in the long term, there are very few Bitcoins available to the people of the world. There are 17.5 millionaires in the United States alone. The United States is one of roughly 200 countries in the world right now. If each of those 17.5 millionaires in the United States wanted 1 Bitcoin, they could not have one. Because initially, in the initial code of 21 million, when Bitcoin had no value, the kids that were mining it in their video game consoles threw them away. And we lost 5 million, roughly 5 million Bitcoin. So you can essentially look at, we have about 15 or 16 million Bitcoins left. I'd say about 15 million Bitcoins ever to exist. Most of them are already owned. Why is the price so low if that's true? Because the faster they let the price go up in Bitcoin, the more they have to compete with other companies and banks to mine it. And if they have to compete with other companies and banks to mine it, other companies and banks will be incentivized to buy Bitcoin when the price goes up. Like right now, Bitcoin's price is going up, so a lot of people will be buying it. It's better to buy it when its price has gone down. All right, I'm gonna leave this video there. I'm still riding to Monet. I'll be living along the beaches of Vietnam for the next few weeks, and then I'm gonna circle back around to Cambodia, head north, continue into Malaysia after I get through Thailand. And you know, I've made this ride before from, well, I'm not going to get too long-winded, but I've made this ride before, and it's such a beautiful ride that I'm doing it again, but I'm doing it the opposite way. And so from Malaysia, I'll be headed west, but keeping the furthest southernmost possible point, and I'll be headed towards Europe. So at points of this trip, you know, if something comes up where I have to go see somebody I love or know, or I have something if something very important comes up, then I'll park my bike in whatever city I am in, go do my work, whether it be Taiwan or the United States, but I don't have any work to do, I'm free. And then I'll fly back to the city where I left my bicycle, which I'm sitting on right now, and I'll continue my trip to Europe, and I'll make it to Europe. Sometimes there will be portions of the planet, right, where it'd make more sense to take a boat or something. I'm sure I'll take a boat here and there. I'll take a train here and there. But 95% or more of the trip will be on bicycle. And if you want to watch me do this trip, just tune in here to Maza Bitcoin. And I'm making videos every day. This is my second one today. I hope everyone is well. Peace out. Nah, that's too common. Let me think of something else. Hope you're well. Ciao, ciao.